Hello, boys and girls. What a weekend. Families belong together. Oh, the children, the children. The left is very good at mobilizing women, emotions, and women are an incredible, powerful voting bloc. They tend to be more emotional than men, and that tends to get presidents elected. Obama was clearly elected by women. Lots of single women voted for him because he's hot and cool, and that's about where they go with their policies. What was Justin Trudeau's top policies? Hot, cool. IQ, unprecedentedly low, but that's not relevant. We don't care. And he's for multiculturalism. That's if there's any policy they voted for Trudeau, it's that one. But they've noticed that it's very effective when you have children, and the left uses children all the time. They have the little boy on the drowned face down on the edge of the beach. Bollywood, the Palestinians use children all the time. It's a very effective tool to make people cry and make people mad. Now, I don't get it personally. I have no feelings. So when this whole thing started and they said children are getting separated from their families, I went, yeah, but what do you want us to do? Like with the illegals, do we put the kids in the jails with the parents? We don't even know if those are their real parents. No one has any paperwork. I'm not putting a child in an adult jail. Well, then don't arrest them. Well, then you don't have borders. Everyone has borders. Mexico has very strict borders. Every Caribbean country has borders, and they're all, if you tune into cable access in Bermuda or Bahamas, all it's talking about is illegal Haitians coming in and what to do about it. So illegal immigration is a thing everywhere. I don't understand why you want to abolish ICE. It really is one of the more juvenile things I've ever heard of. And the whole thing was pushed by the fact that there were some children unable to locate their parents, which, of course, is a tragedy. But we have much bigger problems in America, even within the realms of children, which Charlie Kirk has been quick to point out. So Charlie Kirk went to one of these rallies, as he is wont to do, and it really is, it's getting ridiculous when you go to these things. It's like a cat playing with a mouse before he eats it. It's just such low-hanging fruit with the left. And I believe Tucker Carlson is right. I think it's Facebook that has made them so intellectually lazy because they've been preaching to the bubble for so long that they're incapable of making a decent argument. Check out Charlie Kirk talking to protesters this weekend who want to bring the families together. They just want everyone to be friends. They want the children to have hugs.
You know what I'm really worried about is white males in this country. Those are the people committing the most.
For me. So you're worried about me?
Yes.
If I said I'm worried about black males, that would be a racist thing, right? You just said white males. That's pretty racist.
Hey, if the shoe fits.
No!
Just pause. Did you hear that? He called her a racist, and she said, if the shoe fits. I think she thought she was insulting him, but you just called yourself a racist, by the way. Yeah. Go ahead.
Love, not hate.
I don't
Makes
think.
America great.
Look at some of the Nazi propaganda about the Jews.
Just pause it. I can't hear shoot. Can you turn it up? Are the people at home hearing that well? So he's saying the same old pedantic trope that this is just like Nazi Germany. Look what they're doing. It's just like when they rounded up the Jews. You know what we have to do to that, by the way? Retaliate with the same thing. We have to call them Nazis and point out that them saying Republicans can't go to certain restaurants is what the Nazis did to the Jews. I'm done trying to defend that. Now they're Hitler, they're Nazis. Let's stop. Just stop. Go ahead.
Really similar to what people are saying about the Philippines.
I wouldn't equate what's going on today with the rise of the Third Reich, would you?
What did you just say? You don't think it is part of the Third Reich?
No, I would not equate Donald Trump with the rise of the Third Reich.
I do believe we're a white supremacist country.
If we're such a racist country, why is it that Asian Americans and Indian Americans are actually richer than white Americans on average? Didn't Obama separate 90,000 kids from their parents?
I don't know. What is your source on it?
Does that make this right?
Department of Homeland Security. In fact, Bernie Sanders put on his website in 2015, "Dear Obama, stop separating parents from their
Okay, but does that make this right?
Well, all the images they're using on television of children in cages, those were taken under Obama. I mean, Obama separated 90,000 kids and there were no protests.
Okay, so now we're interviewing you.
Well, no, I'm just saying a sentence. Okay.
Isn't it
Thank you
weird?
very much.
You pause it here. Isn't it weird seeing old people dumb? It's incongruous to me. I always thought of, you know, the wise. When you see white hair, you think you're a wise man. You're reasoned. And that is wise to point out that Charlie Kirk is really just using the interview as a pulpit for himself. So that's a good point. But what are you doing at that rally? You're pro-illegal alien? Okay, gotcha. How many? We have 30 million here now. No, it's not 12. It's not 15. That's an ancient figure. We have 30 million. Tell me what's a good number. 100 million? Okay, what is that? Like a quarter of our population? Should we double our population? How about 400 million illegals? Tell me the number. You're wise. You have white hair. You haven't thought this through? That's what I keep coming back to all weekend. I couldn't stop thinking about this. Tell me your scenario. Tell me there's no ICE. Are there border guards? Are there borders? Like, tell me they want to, and we keep coming back to this. They want to destroy society, and they have nothing to replace it. All right, go ahead.
Protests under Obama, right? But there were no protests like this.
Why? It wasn't
no hate speak.
Oh, this is great.
There was no hate speak behind what he did. I mean, there was no. It didn't come with all that evil, hateful rhetoric.
Like what? Give me an example.
So that goes on. You can look that up yourself. It's unbelievable. But did you hear that last point? I know Obama did as much as Trump, if not more. There was drone strikes. There was children being separated from their families. There was ICE. There was border guards. But it wasn't done with so much vitriol. The problem is not his actions. It's his motive. And what is that? That's emotional politics. I don't mind if you kill someone because you think they're evil. But if you kill them because you're a racist, that's much worse. We need to punish you differently depending on how you feel. Facts care about your feelings. No, they don't. Kids are separated, kids are not separated. That's all that matters. What is the law? What do you suggest we do? Anyway, it reminded me of my buddy Elijah Schaefer. He does this thing, Slightly Offensive TV, and he went down to another one of these. What's it called again? Unite the Families? Bring families belong together. Why can't I? You got to get catchier phrases, like save the kids is better, or release the children. You know, unleash the cages, open the cage doors. We love our kids. That's better. Love kids. Just a heart and the word kids. That I can remember. Families belong together. That opens a whole Pandora's box. And by the way, lefties, it leaves you vulnerable because you shattered the black family with welfare. So you're not really known for your families. In fact, your entire ethos is anti-family. You don't have kids. We're overpopulated. Single moms rock. I love being single. I love being an old spinster with dried up ovaries. I love playing video games and not getting married till I'm 60. All right, so Elijah goes to one of these rallies in L.A., which, by the way, I know Elijah well. He likes L.A. That's weird. Like if, say you were you know those weird shows where they show strange fetishes and they have someone who eats dirt? I saw this black woman. She's a young lady, middle class. She eats dirt. She's obsessed with eating dirt. Or maybe it was mattresses. Yeah, no, there's a Russian who eats dirt. The black girl eats mattresses. If I talked to her about that, she'd go, yeah, I know. It's an affliction. I eat mattresses. I don't want you to do it. But it's just something that I do, and I'm ashamed of it, and I want to stop. I understand when people talk like that about living in L.A., but when they proudly eat a mattress and go, what are you doing not eating a mattress? I go, huh? Anyway, Elijah Schaefer, flanked with intense security, first talks to Maxine Waters and then gets attacked by Antifa broads.
Maxine Waters, hello.
Look, she's
why
just
did you
there
call for the
accolades.
harassment of Trump supporters and their affiliates? Maxine Waters, why'd you call for harassment? Why'd you call for harassment? Oh no, I know, but people who aren't here don't know.
Look in between his right shoulder. Okay, stop. You see the space in between him and the other guy? Focus like a Jedi and see if you can see this woman try to tackle him. He's 6'2", he's a giant. This woman tries to tackle him.
Like people who are watching this are not. Hey! Are you getting it? Are you getting it? Are you filming this?
What the hell is going on that you guys are starting violence here?
Those are Antifa. They literally attacked me right now. They ran at me.
And why did you have to go after them?
So this is what happens at these protests. People started calling shame and trying to get us out of this protest.
Just
we
pause.
have police.
Sorry. I love this new thing. Shame, 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 shame. From Game of Thrones. You have the most shameless demographic. excuse me, you have the most shameless demographic in the country. These people go on slut walks. They defend pedophiles and say, no, this is not a child molester. He never molested children. He's a pedophile. They sexualize young boys. They got 10-year-old drag queens prancing around. They're going into our schools with pictures of mass murderers. Remember that video I did? It's on the CRTV YouTube. Just like public sex. You go to the gay pride parade, there's guys fingering each other on balconies, having sex everywhere. Totally and utterly shameless. And then they yell shame at us. Really, they're so bad. This is what I said on Michael J. Knowles' show. It's like we're being attacked by babies. It's the baby wars. This is 2018 will go down as the baby wars. Okay, go ahead.
Now covering us. Hey, why are you having a kid do your dirty work? Why, look at that. Why are you having a kid?
Yeah, shame. Shame. Those people
Wait,
yell
who?
shame.
I'm not Milo. We have to have 9 people following us. 9 people following us with guns to protect us from the crowd.
All right. That is fascinating. And I'd like to talk to Elijah now. Will you join me? Elijah Schaefer, are you there?
Oh, I am here. I am proud and wearing the United States flag. Show my respect for this country and for your show. Nice outfit you have on there.
Thanks. We coincidentally are wearing the same thing. It's I call it Independence Day week because it's not just the day.
No, it is the week, and I'm trying to go ahead and get the pre-party celebration going. And there's nothing like wearing an American flag bright and early in the morning in the California sun. It's beautiful.
Do you know the secret to partying this weekend is just beer? Do not do shots. Do not have hard liquor. Just pace yourself with beer.
I thought you were weren't you a big promoter of glitter beer?
Yes. Well, that's implied. When I say beer, I obviously mean glitter beer. It's redundant.
Right.
So yeah, just have we call them GBs. Just have your GBs nonstop all day. The beer, it has things in it that paces you. Like you can't get enough booze in your face. It's like an anchor.
But I heard they have a higher alcohol percentage hipster craft version of glitter beer called GBA. It's like their take on IPA. They have double GBA, triple GBA. It's dry hopped, dry glittered. It's awesome.
Yeah, I know. I do it too. Let's get serious. Elijah, so we're watching this video of you, 2-in-1, two zingers in one rally.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing that Maxine Waters didn't expect to be harassed when she called on America to harass America, isn't it?
Yeah, number one, I think it's stupid that she was so cocky that she was riding around in her obviously probably armored vehicle with the windows down in Los Angeles. I mean, I live here, and I know that Los Angeles is not the safest city in the world, also not the cleanest, although it has its strengths. But she was walking down, and people were screaming at her like in most positive tones. So she's just all sitting there, all cocky, like, yeah, I got the people behind me, telling people to if they're going to shoot straight. So I walk over there, and she says, "Hey, sailor," because I'm wearing a striped shirt, thinking I'm like her ally. And I ask her one difficult question, and the minute the media shows up that's not on her side, she has nothing to say. And that's what's hard when you don't control certain parts of the media. You get scared, and if you see her, I'm sorry, but she like shrinks back in her car, like looks at me, and I have the best screenshot ever. She's so scared to like actually answer the truth. And that's Maxine Waters for you.
That's her in a nutshell. She assumes everyone loves her, and when something shows up, like Fleckus asked her about her shady financial dealings, Laura Loomer I think Laura Loomer is pressing charges because Maxine hit her with some papers or something. And that's straight line. Yeah. Isn't that disturbing? She wants to get people killed.
Yeah, I know. And the point is that she's talking about violence. She's saying she's going to be proud to die, but she's putting herself in unnecessary harm's way. I mean, you didn't even have to worry about getting shot if you didn't call people to actually harass and push back against other people. You put yourself in this position and you're acting like a martyr for being in it, but you're really just an idiot.
Yeah. Oh, I've seen that a million times. They say they harass you. They announce on Twitter, not just Maxine, but they say this person needs to be harassed and their families. They can never feel safe anywhere. Then you retaliate and they go, hey, that person's out of bounds. I picked this fight, not my family. And you go, no, you picked this fight on behalf of your family, I'm afraid. You started this dumb war.
Right, which is the stupidest thing, because when you think about it, I also saw De Leon down there too. But I was going to say that I thought No, well, he's part of Congress as well. But the reality is that I saw them both down there, and they were advocating for people basically to push back against anybody who's resisting the movement, which would be conservatives, which would also be primarily 2A gun-wielding people or gun-owning people. So you're calling constituents who are traditionally unarmed to push back and to fight against people who traditionally carry around weapons. In California, we don't carry around guns as much in Los Angeles, but we do carry knives, pepper spray, and you're asking people to attack those people. You're either just crazy stupid or you're trying to start a civil war.
Yeah, well, it's funny because we have another guy on the show recently, coming up, who beat up an Antifa, and the guy just collapsed like a broom. I mean, he became a human plank after, and they disarmed all the Proud Boys. They took away all their guns and not guns, but they took away all their pepper spray and everything. So they were totally 100% disarmed. And then Antifa didn't go through the police security lines, so they have 100. They have weapons, they have garbage, they have jars of piss, they have those telescopic things that you whip people with, and we still kicked their ass. So it's like a bunch of babies picked a fight with a bunch of grown-ups.
Well, yeah, and actually, I've found that when you're working with Antifa, the only thing that you need to fight them away are job applications. Because,
well, what did they do to you? I couldn't make out that punch in the video. As usual, it comes from behind.
Yeah, so basically, I was reporting and talking to this gentleman about pretty much nothing, to be honest, because he didn't know why he was at the protest.
Right.
And all I just hear is like, alt-right crap or something. I don't know, I heard something. And so they're stupid because they yelled out right before they she actually tried to tackle me. So this Antifa jumped up behind me, tried to grab me and like pull me to the ground. But they ended up more like hitting, like sort of like sucker punching the side of me and then like falling into my mic. Because not only are they bad at hitting, they're weak and they're also slow. I mean, when your diet consists mostly of like things made out of cauliflower, you're probably not going to be very strong.
Well, you're a big guy. You look like you're about 6'2".
I am. Yeah, I'm 6'2". I'm 205 pounds. I bench like 245. I'm a pretty strong person, and so you have this little wimp, and so she comes up. She goes to hit, and
wait, pause, stop.
Yeah.
She.
Oh, it was either it was a girl or it was a man who very much looked like a woman, which is possible because with Antifa, you never know the gender. The Antifa is the only group to me that pushes the gender spectrum. I don't believe in the gender spectrum. There's more than one. But if someone was going to try to make me believe it, they should just put Antifa pictures on a board because it makes it look like there's like 50 genders in between male and female with how people look.
That's true. Because every time I ask someone, was it a male or a female in an Antifa rally or brawl, they go, I'm pretty sure it was a female, but I can't be positive.
They were delicate. But see, when I was at the Milo March, and one of the Antifa was like spraying everyone with mace, and she was like hitting people and whatnot. She ended up getting arrested anyways because you can't just mace people who are holding American flags. So what if I have an American flag unitard? Who doesn't own an American flag unitard?
Yeah, I do.
You made yours yourself. Look at that. That's beautiful. And so but if you're going to come out in all black, that's the point. And it's funny in the video, she tries to come back out and mace me, but she maces in the air. I have armed security now, which is really, really awesome. Just this guy Tony and his boys are taking care of me now, and it's really, really awesome. I'm sure you're familiar with who they are. He's got like a redhead guy, like a red beard. I always see him everywhere.
Oh yeah. He used to do security for Baked Alaska?
He did, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that guy. How are you affording that? That was my last question. How are you affording 9 security guys?
You know what? Somebody is providing it for us, and it's being taken care of. And they're just providing security. So we have 4 armed security at events now.
That is awesome. And it takes that many people to fight back these lunatics.
Well, it actually ended up taking 15 additional officers. So it took 15 additional officers. There was 9 police. There was, I believe, 4 or 5 sheriff, and then another security guard, and my 4 security just to get through the crowd. Because what you're going to see in the video is that even in the short trailer, after they hit me, you also see an Antifa guy run at me, and then my security guard just pushes him. The guy just eats crap, just falls on the ground, like just eats it. And then we try to defuse the situation. Within seconds, some people start saying, "Why'd you guys try to hurt that young girl?"
Yes.
And this girl's like, "Why'd you start violence?" When clearly you see in the video, I'm just standing there and someone just jumps out of the middle of nowhere. And that's the crazy thing with the alt-left, is that their heads are screwed on so loose that it doesn't even matter if the evidence is right in front of them. They still believe that they're like these crusaders for justice, and they can do no wrong. And they defend groups like Antifa. And people say that the left does not defend Antifa. That, oh, we disavow Antifa. Oh, we don't like them. No, when you go to these events, your average left-wing, progressive, alt-left person will defend Antifa to the point where they blame me. I'm the victim of a public assault, and they blame me for getting hit. Oh, and then all of a sudden they pick and choose what they care about. But of course, if you're conservative, you deserve to get hit. And the best part is a mob formed because someone spread that I was Milo Yiannopoulos, and you'll hear in the video, everyone's like, "Go home, Milo," and I was like, I'm like a Walmart Milo. They would call me Elilo after I told them my name was Elijah.
Elilo. Well, it's amazing that that woman's so mad at you because she goes, "What are you doing here?" And and she's right. You being there did lead to violence. That's technically true. I mean, you could also argue your parents' meeting also led to violence at this rally. But the big picture is you were there to ask questions. You need 15 extra officers and 9 security guards to ask simple questions. How did we get here?
We got here when people are not able to give simple answers.
Yes.
So that's the reality. When you can't reply because you don't know what you stand for, when you have a foundation, an entire ideology that you can't explain, you're going to be like a child, because babies, when they're hungry, they cry. When they poop, they cry. Why? Because they are not articulate enough to explain, "I need to get changed. I need food." They whine and they moan because they're essentially, their IQ is low and they're cognitively, restrained and have no ability to do what they need to. And what's sad is we have this reverse Benjamin Button disorder where adults are growing older, turning progressive, and then all of a sudden immediately regress back into being like children. And so when they don't get their way, they just moan and they cry and they get mad at you. And it's like, I mean, I've met babies who are smarter than these people.
Well, thank you, Elijah, for going out there with all that security to interview pooping babies, because it's funny to hear them cry.
They do throw their pee, so I mean, they haven't learned how to get rid of it the proper way.
Babies don't do that, by the way. They're more advanced than babies.
like monkey babies. I don't know if we can say that on here.
All right, man. Thanks for coming on the show. I like you more than a friend.
Awesome, Gavin. Love you too, and I love your hijab burqa thing, the flag thing. It's very traditional, but also very inclusive, very anti-Islamophobic, and extremely welcoming for someone like me who also thought that my garb was one of a kind, but I realized there's a little bit of America on all of us.
Exactly. Thanks for coming on the show, buddy.
All right. Peace.
Bye.